Tet Offensive begins January 30, 1968 at dawn on the first day of the Tet holiday truce. Viet Cong forces supported by large numbers of North Vietnamese troops launched the largest and best coordinated offensive of the war, driving into the center of South Vietnam's 7 largest cities and attacking 30 provincial capitals from the Delta to the DMZ. Among the cities taken during the first 4 days of the offensive were Hue, Da Lat, Con Tum, and Quang Tri. In the north, all 5 provincial capitals were overrun. At the same time, enemy forces shelled numerous Allied airfields and bases. In Saigon, a 19-man Viet Cong suicide squad seized the U.S. Embassy and held it for 6 hours until an assault force of U.S. paratroopers landed by helicopter on their building's roof and routed them. Nearly 1,000 Viet Cong were believed to have infiltrated Saigon, and it took a week of intense fighting by an estimated 11,000 U.S. and South Vietnamese troops to dislodge them. By February 10, the offensive was largely crushed, but with heavy casualties on both sides. The former imperial capital of Hue took almost a month of savage house-to-house combat to regain. Efforts to assess the offensive's impact began well before the fighting ended. On February 2, President Johnson announced that the Viet Cong had suffered complete military defeat. General Westmoreland echoed that appraisal 4 days later in a statement declaring that Allied forces had killed more enemy troops in the previous 7 days than the United States had lost in the entire war. Militarily, Tet was decidedly an Allied victory, but psychologically and politically, it was a disaster. The offensive was a crushing military defeat for the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese, but the size and scope of the communist attacks caught the American and South Vietnamese allies by surprise. The early reporting of a smashing communist victory went largely uncorrected in the media and led to a psychological victory for the communists. The heavy U.S. and South Vietnamese casualties incurred during the offensive, coupled with the disillusionment over the earlier overly optimistic reports of progress in the war, accelerated the growing disenchantment with President Johnson's conduct of the war. Johnson, frustrated with his inability to reach a solution in Vietnam, announced on March 31, 1968, that he would neither seek nor accept the nomination of his party for re-election.